So the title today is Student STEM Learning, Motivation, and Achievement in the HBCU Context, Evidence from the BEST Study, which is the name of our project, the Black Excellence in Science and Mathematics Teaching. I am presenting today, but this is by no means my work alone. We work in a team, and I definitely need to acknowledge my collaborator, Dr. Winston. A lot of these presentations we do together, we put the work together, so it's very much a shared effort. With our respective research teams, eMERGE and ISRL. It's a little dark, but I did want to show you a face. Graduate students from education and psychology, as well as Dr. Winston and myself, a fabulous team of students who've been working with us diligently over the past 4 years to execute what's a fairly complex longitudinal research project. Okay, just a little bit about the study overall. We were funded by the HBCU UP, which probably many people are familiar with, program from the National Science Foundation when they started a separate track just to focus on education research projects. So not program implementation, not infusion grants, but how to study best practices in STEM teaching and learning. And our studies actually focused on best practices in producing African American science and mathematics teachers at HBCUs. I'm not presenting much of that data here today. I'm presenting you the data on the undergraduate STEM majors, which is where we get our future science and math teachers, of course. The mixed method study design means that we utilize both qualitative as well as quantitative research procedures. And the whole point of kind of blending or mixing methods is because we need different types and sources of data to really get the answer to the problems that we're interested in. And this is the problem of focus for our study. And the overall study has 3 different components. It's really 3 separate studies. Interviews with current science and mathematics teachers about their pathways into teaching, qualitative, in-depth, year-long case studies of teacher education programs at HBCUs, and then finally a 4-year longitudinal study of a freshman cohort of STEM majors. And that's the data that I'll be presenting on today. These are students from Howard University. These other samples represent over 12 different HBCUs, more than 100 different HBCU faculty, and more than about 500 different HBCU students from across the country. But we're going to focus on Howard students today. The question that we're going to focus our analysis today on, and what kind of underlies the longitudinal survey, is what individual, instructional, and institutional variables promote the achievement and retention of undergraduate students who have declared a major in STEM. And so you see we're interested in kind of these multi-level variables that are involved in student investment, motivation, and actual performance in STEM majors. In terms of the background of the issue, as we all know, broadening participation in the STEM enterprise in terms of diversity is one of the most important agendas right now in higher education. And HBCUs lead thousands of other colleges and universities in producing African Americans who go on to be successful in STEM, African American undergraduates who earn PhDs in the sciences and engineering, and African Americans who enter the workforce. Yet little scientific evidence exists about how HBCUs have attained these results. But it's our position that these achievements warrant scientific investigation. We need more empirical evidence documenting what we do at HBCUs in order to discover the factors related to success at HBCUs for the purpose of advancing theory, as well as providing models of educational excellence that can be replicated in other settings, non-HBCUs, as well as to strengthen HBCUs.